Hello. Okay, so apakah suara aku masuk? Is my voice, can anybody hear my voice? Is it clear? Is it not? Am I lagging? Am I not? Also, is the chat showing? The chat isn't showing, is it? Wait, let me try to pop out the chat. Let me try. Let's hope it's working this time. It's still not working. That's weird. Yeah, okay, wait. So we still have 4 minutes. I'm just gonna fix the chat for a bit. Hold on, okay, guys? Sorry, I can't perfect. Okay, there we go. I can see the chat now. Can everybody see the chat? Yeah. Hi Ryan, hi Raccoon, hi Sumi, hi Hex, hi Simpers, and hi Ahmad. Thank you so much for showing up on this English free talk. Yeah, I like Simple Plan. I used to like them. Anyway, so today's topic is, am I really gay or just curious? So the question is not just about me. It's also about like all of you, everyone. Because sexuality is something that you discover as you grow up, right? Like, one day you're just like, you find yourself being attracted to the opposite gender, and or sometimes, you know, you find out that, oh no, I do not like the opposite gender, I think I like the same gender more. Oh no, right? And you know, you start to compare your personal experiences with the people around you, and that's where, you know, where you kind of start to doubt yourself, because that's what that's what people do in general, right? We tend to compare ourselves to others, and then we use them as a standard. Like, for example, right now, oh no, my friends are all, you know, getting hitched. Well, not hitched, not necessarily marriage. I mean, most of my friends, I mean, I have a friend who's like 25 and she's getting married with a baby on the way, but like, you know, sometimes you start to compare yourself to your friends. Oh no, they're all getting married. Oh no, they all have girlfriends. They all have boyfriends. I'm still single. I'm still, you know, or like, oh no, they have a job. And you start to compare yourself with people. And when it comes to life goals, I guess it's easier to like convince yourself that you're still okay. It's easier to give yourself the pep talk. Like, no, I'm fine. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody has their own time. But how about sexuality? You know, that's what people tend to forget. Sexuality is a big part of our daily lives. You know, whether we're have it or we don't have it, like asexuals don't really have that sexual need or attraction. I will talk about that one day. So, and then you kind of, you know, find yourself questioning. Like, for example, me myself, right? When I was I always had a thing for like guys, I think. You know, I always had a thing for guys, and then one day I was like, oh no, I think I like this girl. And I was like, do I really like this girl, or do I just admire her, you know? And then I had a whole process there, and then I turned out to be a bisexual. Oh no, I like both genders, you know? And then as I grew up, because I was always so openly bi, I had people coming to me and asking me like, hey, do you think I'm gay? You know, like, she grew up in like a very normal household, you know, straight parents, religious, well, not religious actually, it's actually just a normal family, not very religious, not anything, you know. She was from a Catholic family. And she was like, you know, I don't think my parents have anything against it. Hi, simpers. Hi. And she was like, I don't think my family have anything against it. Hi, David. Thank you for showing up. Anyway, but then she was like, but I don't know whether I really like this girl, or do I just admire her because I really want to be like her. I admire how strong she is and how kind, but I'm not sure if it's a crush, you know. And I don't know if any of you guys have that feeling as well, like when you guys are confused about your sexuality. Well, I actually have a few tips to make sure whether you for you to ask yourself to make sure whether you actually are, you know, gay or bisexual, or you're just basically curious and it's not your thing. And hi Oris Darkness, thank you for showing up. You know, I really appreciate everyone for showing up here despite this being an English free talk. Like, I know that English free talks tend to get like really boring or really quiet, but you guys are still here and I really appreciate it. So you either are here because you're actually curious about your sexuality, or because you just want to hear my voice as a background noise. I appreciate it either way. Now, anyway, so David says he apparently has never doubted his sexuality. That's really good. That means that you know who you are and what you want to do. That's very good, and I'm really happy for you. Life is definitely a bit easier when you know your sexuality. Okay, so tip number 1, you have to check your surroundings. Is it possible that your surroundings influenced you to feel or think a certain way? Are your parents, family, teachers, or even friends involved in or active or supportive of a certain community? Because, you know, many homosexual children, right, both gay and lesbians, they grow up in straight communities believing that they are quote-unquote built wrong. But at the same time, the same feeling can be experienced by straight children growing up in LGBT communities. Hi Wizzies, thank you for showing up. Yay, he is viewer number 8. Let's see who will be viewer number 10. Anyway, continuing. So, like I said, I think most of you, I mean, like, most of my viewers, I have a view bisexual or like homosexuals, lesbians, and gays as my viewers because they are curious about themselves and their communities and they want to know more. Now, usually the cases that they can relate to is they think and feel that they are built wrong because of their community and their parents and their family. They're surrounded by very straight people, and they do not see an LGBT role model in their lives. But I want to talk about the straight children who grow up in LGBT communities and feel that they are built wrong because since they were little, all they saw was LGBT communities. And believe me, it happens too. Like, I have really straight friends, like they're just straight as a board. This little girl, she's like 18. No, not 18. She was like 17. She was 17, and I was her tutor. And she asked me like, "Hey, miss, can I ask you something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she was like, I have a crush on this boy, but I'm not sure if it's a crush or not. I think I just got comfortable around him, but I also think it's a crush. I don't know, miss. What do you think? And she isn't sure about her feelings because she has 2 moms. She had a dad, of course, obviously, right? She had a dad and a mom, and then the mom and dad separated, and then her mom got a girlfriend. So she grew up with 2 moms, and even though she knows that it's obviously being straight is very common, it's very normal. Yeah, Raccoon, thank you. It's okay. You don't have to talk much. Just listen. I'm here to fill in the background noise anyway. Okay, continue. So, and she was like, "Hey, you know, am I supposed to feel this way?" And I was like, "Why do you think that?" And she's, "Well, my mom likes girls more than boys, and I don't know, I feel like maybe I should too, I'm my mom's daughter, you know. And then she was just going through the whole questioning thing, and I was like, okay, well, what do you feel, what do you think, and how, and what kind of thoughts, what kind of feelings you have towards the boy, things like that. So it happens in both communities, you know. So you have to see your surroundings. Is it possible that your surroundings influence you to feel a certain way? Because sometimes you're just straight, that's it, you don't like the same gender, you like the opposite gender, you know. And the same goes for the LGBT as well. Sometimes you just like the same gender despite what everybody else around you is doing. You're not built wrong, you know. Like, sexuality is something that comes with your biology. You were born that way. Well, actually, most people are born that way. I will explain to that later, because sexuality can be influenced by communities, but I will talk about that later in the end. So anyway, you also have to see who your role models are when you grow up, and who you identify with in your teens. Like, for example, me, when I grew up, it was really normal for me to see, you know, my friends as I grew up in Europe, right? So it was very normal for me to see my moms as friends. They're gay, husband and husband, and it was weird. I mean, hey mom, why is it two men? Are they a couple? Because they behave like a couple, and I thought it was only mom and dad. And then my dad said, yeah, some people are like that, you know, they like the same gender. I was like, oh, okay. But even then, I never thought that it could happen to me, that I could like my own gender, you know, stuff like that. So I was like, there's a certain dissonance there, you know. And then, for example, right now, a lot of role models are openly gender fluid, openly gay, openly bisexual, openly asexual, aromantic. When you idolize them, sometimes you tend to want to be like your idol, you know, especially when you're young and still kind of, you know, easy to be influenced. Do you want to be like your idol, or is it really something that you want? Are you just projecting yourself? You have to ask these questions, because you don't have to be your role model, if that makes sense. But anyway, okay, so the third question you have to ask yourself is it attraction or admiration? Like, there is a difference between attraction and admiration, obviously, because when you admire someone, you just want to be like them, you know. Like, you guys, you men, you must have some role models, right? Like, some guys really like Brad Pitt because he is the epitome of masculinity, or some guys really like Keanu Reeves because he is so manly, stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that you like have a crush on them. You just have a admiration. You really like this person, but not in I'm gonna take them to bed kind of, you know. But then if it's attraction, that is where you might that's where it hints at your sexuality, if that makes sense. So for example, right, you like Keanu Reeves, you like Brad Pitt, and like, oh, okay, I just like them, I just admire them. But then one day you start getting, you know, kind of sexual fantasies about them, or like, oh wow, they have such a nice body. You start to think about them in a sexual way. Those might be signs that your sexuality is, you know, you're very much into men. Those are the small signs. Sumi is apparently a huge fan of Takegu Sato. And Oris Darkness says, simping Henry Cavill every time is safe for everyone. Yeah, oh my, Henry Cavill is actually, he's a huge nerd. I love him. He's just such a pure little nerd. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, like what's happened. And yes, exactly, like David says, David likes them. He's not thirsty for them. Exactly, David can tell that, oh yeah, I just admire them. I don't have an attraction to them. Yes. And I don't know about Sumi and August, but I think that they're also just admiring. They're just simping in a very fan way, which is completely fine, you know. But I'm here just to not warn or make sure. Oh my god, my English vocabulary is losing itself. English 404 not found. Okay, anyway, so what I was saying was that if you start having thirsty thoughts or like bed thoughts, it might be an attraction right there, but you have to sort it out again. Maybe it's not their their gender or like their genitalia you are like attracted to, but you're attracted to their vibe. You know, like you're attracted to, let's say, Harry Styles because you kind of like that androgynous vibe, but doesn't mean that you're necessarily gay. You could just, you like the opposite gender, but you like them a bit androgynous, you know? Those kind of things happen. Raccoon says he's simping for Gwen. Dude, I simp for Gwen. Like, Gwen is mwah. But I personally like Indian Spider-Man. He's really cool. But anyway, let's not talk about Spider-Man. Okay, number 4, the fourth question. Has there been any thirsty fantasies? Which obviously is in line with the third question. Is it attraction or admiration? And the last question you should ask yourself is, what kind of entertainment, aka blue films, do you prefer? Why do I say this? Because this is a bit taboo to speak of, but obviously those kind of quote-unquote entertainment has a lot to do with sexuality. Obviously it's sex, so sex has to do with sexuality. And your sexuality can be seen, hints of your sexuality can be traced back to the entertainment that you prefer to watch. So you need to trace that back a bit, you know, and try to piece your sexuality back from there. Iwan, hi Iwan, thank you for showing up. Hey. Oh, by the way, I can't be very loud. I have a sore throat and I'm not feeling very fit, so I'm sorry if my energy is lower than usual. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate you guys. I still appreciate you like always. I'm just a bit low energy right now. FBI Simper asks how to get fetishes under control. I think that is a topic for another day. I'm going to be talking about fetishes, whether they are normal or not, and what fetishes are next week, Wednesday actually, next week's English Free Talk, and I will talk more about that later. Thank you guys. Thank you for wishing me to get well soon. Anyway, so but then again, right? Love and sexuality don't always go hand in hand. Like, I had this friend, right? He's gay. Like, he is gay. Like, he's 150% gay. Like, the gays of the gays. He's kind of Bang Chong in a way, you know? Like, he's gonna, oh, girl, yes, slay. You look so good, queen. You know, that kind of, you know, that kind of guy, right? He's just gayer than gay. But, guess who this guy's longest relationship is. His female best friend. This guy is 150% gay. He is gayer than gay. And he had a 7-year-long relationship. Hi, Ryan. And my friend had a 7-year-long relationship with a girl. The girl is his best friend. They met in college, and after being friends for like 5 or 6 years or so, they finally fell in love, and they dated for 7 years. They eventually broke up because of religion. She was a Muslim and he was a Catholic, and they were almost gonna get married, but none of them wanted to move religions, and their parents were very much against it. They wanted the family to be one religion instead of two. So, and religion was very important to both of them. So they were like, I cannot compromise this for you, I'm sorry. And so they broke up. But my friend, right, this gay dude, he has a boyfriend now, I think. I think he got married to his boyfriend in Japan or Singapore or something, I don't remember. But we catched up like last year, and he's told me that his first love, last love, and biggest love will always be that girl. Even though he's gay, like he's just gay, but his first love is that woman. And that's why I say that love and sexuality don't always go hand in hand. I mean, there's always that tiny 1%, same like I had this other friend, a guy as well. He ended up marrying this girl, and it was because she was the love of his life. I mean, sure, this girl that he married, she's a bit tomboy, you know, she's one of those type of femdom girls, and I guess I can see why he likes her, but why he fell in love with her. But he said, I'm not cured, you know? He said, like, I'm not cured, in a quote. And he says, I don't think I'm bisexual either, because I don't get hard for other women. I don't even get hard for my wife, you know? Like this is talking about bed stuff now, but like when he goes to bed with his wife, what he told me was, when he goes to bed with his wife, he gets hard not because he sees her naked, not because of her body, but because of their interaction, because of the vibe, because of the situation, you know, like his wife makes him feel so loved that he feels that he wants her, you know, if that makes sense, right? So it's more because he loves her that he is attracted to her, but not because he is attracted to her physically in the first place. So those things happen, and my friends, both of them are not quote unquote cured. They just happen to fall in love with someone, you know? So it's less about the gender, less about the genitalia, more about the situation. And the same thing goes with straight people. You know, there are straight people who end up with the same sex. Usually women, because women are more open to their emotions, and most men are taught to hide and conceal their emotions, so they're not that open to it, you know, and they're like, there's a lot of internal homophobia going on with men usually, but with women, because they're so open to their emotions, I guess it's easier for them to soothe themselves and then talk themselves through it and then introspect. And yeah, so these women, they've got married. You know, like these two women have been straight their whole lives. Like they've been dating guy after guy after guy. They have never been attracted to women, like, you know, aside from admiration. But the admiration stops at, oh wow, that woman is so confident. I want to be confident like her. You know, like there are no thirsty thoughts or anything. And yeah, they found each other. They fell in love. They got married. So it's less, and that doesn't mean that they turn gay either. I mean, they're just gay for each other. Does that make sense? Like, it's like your partner, you are sexually attracted to your partner and just your partner because they're your partner, not because of their you know, gender or genitalia or whatever. Yeah, that I think that's the cool thing about sexuality, and that's the cool thing about love. Like, love alters your brain hormones so much. Like, sexuality is basically, you know, horny hormones in your brain, right? But love can alter those horny hormones. I think that's amazing. But anyway, let me read some of the comments first. Wizzy says, sounds like Freddie Mercury. Yes, I agree. Freddie Mercury does sound like a case of situationship, I guess. Like, he got a bit carried away in the situation, and I don't know if there are records of any other women in Freddie Mercury's life. So maybe Freddie is a gay man who found his one and true love in the form of his ex-wife, I think. Was she his ex-wife? In that girl, you know, but then they couldn't make it work, so then they split. It could be like that. Or maybe Freddie's just a bisexual man, you know. I don't think he ever came out publicly with that. I don't think bisexuality was a real thing back then either. I mean, nobody really acknowledged it. You were either gay or straight back then. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Okay, what else? August Darkness. Since a few years ago, I had a sexual experience with a bisexual man. It wasn't horrible, but I didn't want to repeat it either. I guess that's when I realized I was just curious. Yes, that is it. August Darkness. But I'm still thinking that was not a bad idea. Yes. Well, okay, whether it's a bad idea or not, it depends on how you see it personally. But, I am very proud of you to have the courage to do something, to be curious and then act upon it, and then to realize that, oh yeah, no, I'm quite happy with my sexuality. I'm just straight, you know. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you for taking that step. But yeah, you don't have to like necessarily have a sexual experience with a gender to make sure of the sexuality, because again, like sex is not an experience that everyone is willing to go for. Like some people just prefer to save themselves for their marriage, or just for some exclusive partners, like only if you've been dating for a year or 2 years, then I want to get in bed with you, so rather than waste like 1 or 2 years, or waste your whole dating years until marriage to find out that, oh shit, turns out I'm not this sexuality. Yeah, ask yourself the 5 questions that I stated earlier. Check your surroundings. Is it possible you've been influenced by your surroundings? Who are your role models? Do you feel like you identify with your role models, or do you just like them? Is it attraction or admiration? Has there been thirsty fantasies? And what kind of entertainment do you prefer? Because your entertainment can also be influencing you. Okay, FBI Simpers asks advice for his fetish problem, and that's the thing. Fetish is not a problem. A fetish is just, okay, this is a bit out of topic, but let me just answer him this once. So imagine you have noodles. No, not noodles. Imagine you have nasi goreng, right? You have fried rice. You freaking love nasi goreng kambing. You love, what's nasi goreng kambing? Lamb fried rice? Goat fried rice? Goat? Okay, let's just say nasi goreng kambing, right? You love this mutton fried rice, and your partner doesn't. Are you going to force feed them the nasi goreng? You're not going to force them to eat that nasi goreng because they don't like it, right? The same thing goes with fetishes. You like something and your partner doesn't. And if they don't, then you can't force them to like it as well. You have to eat your nasi goreng by yourself. Sure, you can't finish it on your own, but you kind of have to, because they can't help you finish your nasi goreng, it's that way. So either you find a partner that likes nasi goreng kambing as much as you do, or you simply just have to live with the fact that you cannot have nasi goreng kambing as much as you want, or if you do, you have to eat it on your own. That is how fetishes work, basically. But that's just my opinion. I will talk more about this next week on the English Free Talk. I promise. Promise. Okay, so back to the topic. Now, about sexuality, right? My opinion is just an opinion, and I am just sharing my knowledge of what I know, of what I've seen, what I've learned. Because everyone works differently, right? Like, for example, I'm an extrovert, and let's use Anjim. Let's use Anzima, right, as an example. He's an introvert. I'm an extrovert, and then Dormus tells us to sell apples. The way I sell apples and the way Anzim sells apples is gonna be very different, even though we're both under Dormus and we're both VTubers, because our personality is different. Like, we could be twins sharing the exact same genetics and parenting, but simply because of our different personalities, the outcome could be very different. And the same thing happens with sexuality. Like, you could be very, 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 very gay, and your friend could be too, but then, your friend decides to push down their sexuality completely and just stay single forever because he doesn't want to go down that road, while you freely feel, oh, you know what, I'm gay, I'm going to embrace it, I love it, I'm going to be as gay as possible as I can. That is very normal, and that happens. That's what humans do. Okay, so and the last thing that I want to, hi Miu, thank you so much for showing up to my stream. I'm good. I'm just here talking about sexuality, whether you realize it, whether you realize your sexuality or not, because sometimes you would think that you're gay, turns out you're straight. Sometimes you're straight, turns out you're gay, or maybe you're just bisexual. So yep, that is life. Oh my god, my boobs are so jiggly. Wee. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, so the last thing that I want to iterate is that sexuality is not necessarily a choice. Like I said before, sexuality is something that you're born with. It's like a concoction of hormones in your head. You know, your brains pump out different hormones, and that can influence your sexuality. It's not necessarily a choice. And maybe that's why bisexual erasure exists, you know, like I mentioned in my previous stream, because the majority of the LGBT community feel like they don't have a choice. Like, nobody wants to be hated, nobody wants to be shunned, nobody wants to be chased down with a pitchfork saying, "You're going to hell," you know? And everybody wants to be quote-unquote normal. But the fact is, the LGBT community, most of them are born that way. And they feel like they want to be quote-unquote normal, but they don't have a choice, they can't be themselves. So they get upset at the bisexuals, because bisexuals have quote-unquote a choice, you know, like we can choose to look normal or be an ally, which is complete BS. For me personally, I personally think that's BS, because bisexuals have rights too. But anyway, but here's an interesting thing. You guys must have often heard about a guy who got traumatized by his ex-girlfriend, so he decides to be a gay. Or a girl who has been traumatized by a guy, she decides to be a lesbian. I bet that every one of you has heard about that, right? Like, for example, whenever I say that I like girls, and without saying that I like boys too, I say I like girls. And then the guy was just like, not the guy, sorry, I got confused, I got distracted by Wizzy's comment. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Oh yeah, oh no, shoot, okay, I hate this part of my brain. I just had a brain fart, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh no, what was I saying, guys? Help me, what was I saying? Okay, Miyu asks, do you mean like if you choose that way, it's your way and we don't want to disturb you? I do understand your question. Can you please rephrase it for me? I don't understand. Wizzies asks Ores, did you get tired by the possessiveness of your bi man? I think what Ores meant was that the sexual experience that Ores had with his with the bisexual man was very unpleasant for him, and he didn't enjoy it. You know, he didn't enjoy the sexual experience, and that's when he realized that I don't think I'm gay. I don't like men. I admire men, but I don't like men, you know. Oh, Miu says, if it's your choice, it's your choice. We respect your opinion. Hi, Ekusugu. Welcome. We respect your opinion. Yes, kind of. So here's the thing. When you're gay, it's a mix of hormones in your head, right? You cannot do anything but your hormones. You were born that way. But some people are, how do I say this, closeted bisexual? It's like you don't realize that you're bisexual because your whole life you have been told to like the opposite gender. Does that make sense? So, okay, I'm not saying that this is a propaganda. I am not saying this at all. Okay, disclaimer. It's not a propaganda. I am just recounting and sharing the experience of my friends and of the people that I have consulted. So they are actually, their whole lives, they have believed that they're straight. Hello, comrade. Hello, handsome monkey. Anyway, so your whole life you think that you're straight. And then one day you got your heart, okay, so for example, you're a girl. You're a girl, you got your heart broken by a guy, and then you know what? I from this day on, I'm just gonna go date fellow girls, because all guys are bastards and they can appreciate girls, and only girls can appreciate girls. So from now on, I'm going to just date girls, and these girls purposely date other women because they were traumatized by men. The thing is, if you're able to be aroused by the same sex, by the same gender, it means that the hormone to be aroused by the gender has always been there in your body. You just haven't unlocked it. Because when you're fully 100% straight, just like August Darkness just now, if you're 100% fully straight, you can get into bed with a dude and you will feel no attraction whatsoever. It will be either a very bad experience, or you'll feel kind of gross about yourself, or gonna go feel gross about the other. There was no actual, no actual attraction, because guess what? You're straight. You're as straight as a pole, So it's like that. It's like that. I don't know. Is this topic a bit too heavy, you guys? Oh my god. But yeah, so it's like that. So hormones are not something that you can mess with. The same thing as how you cannot make a straight person gay, you cannot make a gay person straight unless they have the potential to be bisexual, or they are very much in love with this person. Like I said, right, that 1% where a gay person falls in love with the opposite gender, and then they fall in love forever, like that. So yeah, sexuality is a really weird and confusing thing. Confusing. I mean, yeah, for me to confidently say I'm bisexual, well, actually I'm not bisexual, I'm just by myself. Anyway, but yeah, for me to be able to confidently say I'm bisexual, it took me like literally my whole life to figure it out. I've only been like a confident, I can only have been a confident bisexual for like a few years, well, not a few years, like 5 years ago, and 5 years, it's quite a long time. Anyway, straight as a pole. Yep, that's Mew and that's Sumi. What, Sumi, are you same as in same you're straight, or same as in you have bisexual tendencies? Hehe. Anyway, not confusing, simply complicated. Yes, Wheezies, you're very right. And it's complicated because a person is not two-dimensional, like a person has so many sides to them. And anything can influence you, your heart, your feelings, your determination, because again, how we react to all the problems that we're given, that is what determines us as a person, like, I have this story. I have this friend, right? He got, he's not gay, he's actually bisexual. He's bisexual, but he likes men more, and he slept around with so many men that he actually got HIV. Like, he has HIV. He's HIV negative. So HIV negative as in it's dormant. So he cannot transfer it to others unless through. Is it through fluid or not? I'm not sure, but I think he cannot infect others. So his HIV stays with him. And he is taking medication, so his HIV does not transfer into his DNA. So when he gets children, it lessens the chance for his child to have HIV like he does. But ever since he got HIV, he was like, you know what? I think this is a sign. I want to be just with women. Even if I fall in love with a guy, I will squash those feelings before it turns into anything. I want to be a straight man forever. So he wants to be a straight man. Like, he's not changing his sexuality. He simply chooses to never act upon his same-sex attractions. And I respect him for that. I mean, that is what he feels most comfortable with. And that is what, I mean, come on, he did contract a disease, so maybe it was a sign for him, we don't know, but yeah. Oh, Sumi is by himself. Oh wait, I'm not single, I have my assignment with me. Dude, you're married to your assignment, you're so sad. Hi Ryan. Oh, you're giving me lots of cats in boxes, man. But anyway, yeah, so I guess that's the topic for today. I guess it's quite complicated. It's a very heavy topic and it's quite late, so I don't blame you guys for being kind of confused in this way. But yeah, so that's just me. I hope that for anybody who watches this after the live is over, the live stream is over. I hope this can give you guys some insight. David asks, what happens to him afterwards? Oh no, he's single now. He's single. He's a successful. He's a doctor now. He is in his residency now, and he's working his way up on being a psychiatrist. I think, I don't know. He just graduated. No, not just. He graduated like last year or something. I don't know. But yeah, so he graduated and he's now healthy. He's very healthy. He's just taking daily medication for his HIV, and he does, I think, monthly controls to the clinic. But that's it. He's still single. Hasn't found anybody yet that he likes. But he is having a crush on this girl right now. But yeah, I guess that's it. Kagatampan says that sounds rather hard for him, but for the sake of his health and for his own good. Well, the thing is, HIV and AIDS is not a disease specifically isolated in between the homosexual. So it's just not a disease between gays and lesbians, but it's also a disease in straight couples. Like, did you guys know that there was this? Okay, so if anybody wants to cross check about this, please Google it. But there was a research that found that a lot of housewives actually have HIV or AIDS because their husbands liked to hire prostitutes. They like to jajan di luar, what Indonesians would say. They like to jajan di luar, they sleep with prostitutes, and then those girls obviously do not get their STDs checked. So, oh, hello, Kefianto. Hello, Kefianto, call me whatever you want. It's fine. But anyway, continuing the topic. So, yes, what was I talking? Okay, so these girls, right, they do unprotected sex, they have sex with so many people, and of course, these prostitutes will have diseases, and then these men who sleep with these prostitutes brings the disease back home to their wives, and a lot of these wives actually have HIV/AIDS. They just don't really tell to anyone because having a sexual disease is, very, it's a big taboo. It's oh my god, and if you have a sexual disease, it's the woman who gets blamed for being dirty or for whatever, and rarely the man. David says, saga of Pantura driver. Yes, you're very right. A lot of truck drivers do that. I don't want to like accuse any truck drivers, because a lot of salary men do that as well. But yeah, anyway, so yes, it is true. So, but please do your own research. If any of you wants to Google it right now and dig into that, please do. I forgot the details, but anyway, continuing. So, back to what Kagatampan said. It's less about his quote unquote his own good or not, because his HIV is an HIV negative, it's a dormant HIV. If he continues to engage with men, it won't bring much of a difference to him. But what I admire about him is that he chooses something and he goes with it. Like he's oh my god, what's the English word for it? The Indonesian word is punya pendirian. The English word is, I think, he holds by his principles. Yeah, he holds by his principles. So, you know what? I know I'm bisexual, but I don't want to do this anymore. I want to I believe this is a sign, and I want to just focus on women, that kind of thing. So yeah, again, how sexuality is not a choice, but the way we deal with our sexuality is a choice. And here's the thing, your sexuality does not define who you are. Okay, so you're gay, you're a lesbian, but you don't want to be a lesbian, and you would rather be alone the rest of your life. Not alone. You would rather be with a man who loves you. and you love him even though you're not attracted to him, then be with a woman because you prefer to not be a lesbian. You don't want to give in to your sexual urges. That is perfectly okay too. That happens because, again, your sexuality does not determine who you are. You don't have to be your sexuality, but if you want to, that's great. And my only advice is that when you do choose to take, when you do choose to act upon your choice, you just have to be ready for the consequences it will bring. Because sometimes for some people, I don't know for most people, but like for some people, sex is actually very important. And for some people, lack of sex in a relationship, especially marriage, can be taxing. It can be kind of it can be tiring. It can be very, what's taxing? I don't know what taxing. I don't know an easier word for taxing, but basically it can get very hard on them to have a life with no sex. But you know, if you are completely ready for it, if you know what you're doing, if you're a dead set, then go ahead. There's nothing wrong. Again, you don't have to be your sexuality. Okay, so reading the comments. FBI Simper says this stream gives us a lot of information and perspective. I really hope I can give you guys a new perspective on things. So again, I am not here to change anybody. I don't care if you're straight or gay or bisexual or you're asexual. I don't care. I am here to give you answers to your questions and to share other perspectives. If you don't agree, we can discuss in the comments. Like, you can comment and I can answer. And if you still don't agree, then I am completely fine with it. I know I am not perfect and I can always learn more from you guys because we're very different and I can always learn from other people. Okay, Wizzy says it's more of a decision than principle. Can you please explain the difference between decision and principle? Because I believe that you make a decision based on your principles, and a decision is basically the upholding of a principle. What do you think, Wizzies? David says, sadly in this country, his choice is actually for his own good. He'd get a very, very hard time if he's anything but straight. Yes, that is very true. So it's not about a country, it's more about the community. It is very true that if you want to be quote-unquote accepted, you do have to find your community. Okay, so remember what I said the last time? Bisexuals are not always accepted in the LGBT community because the LGBT community thinks that bisexuals are not real gays, right? But at the same time, we are obviously not accepted in the quote-unquote normal society because we have a 50% chance of liking our same gender, and for the normal people, we automatically fit into the LGBT community. So, yeah, the bisexual community has its own community in which we support and, uphold each other. The same thing happens for everyone. My friend, luckily, he is in a community and in an environment where if he were to choose to continue to be bisexual, he will be just fine and safe. Nothing will happen to him. And he has a good support system that will support him. He has a good community. But at the same time, I fully understand what Kakatampan and what David is trying to say. In general, it will be very hard for an Indonesian person, not Indonesian, an Asian person, especially a Southeast Asian person, to be in public with their same-sex significant other. You know, because obviously we all know all the hate that's gonna happen. I mean, look at the hate I got and my debut, and I didn't even say anything. I just said that I'm bisexual, you know, like, it's actually kind of funny. But anyway, August Darkness says, in my country, many couples who have been together for years become much more open just to avoid monotony and infidelity. Yes. So I don't know what country you're from, August Darkness, but it's not I guess in this current country, i.e. Indonesia, where I'm currently based, I guess it's just the millennials. Like it started with the millennials, but I have a few friends who are like who decide to be in an open relationship after 5 years of marriage. 5 or 10. I think it was 10. So they got too monotone, like you said, too monotone, and they don't want to deal with infidelity, and they were like, you know what, I would rather for you to have a second girlfriend, or for you to go to bed with others, than you cheating on me, which means going to bed without telling me. So they want transparency. Okay, you want to sleep with others, at least let me know who they are, or when you're gonna go, that kind of thing. Or maybe, you know what, you can go to sleep with other people, but I don't want to know, things like that, it's just an agreement. And I personally think that is not a bad thing, but you have to regularly go to the doctor to see if you are still healthy or not, because STDs is a real thing, and I can't stress this enough. Even though you're married, even though you have never had any intercourse with anybody else except your partner, you must go to the doctor at least twice every month, especially for you guys who are women. Okay, women need to have cervix cancer checkups, because cervix cancer can also happen to virgins, guys. Cancer can happen to virgins, not just to people who have had intercourse before. So, if anybody wants to have a checkup for their genitalia and for their reproductive system, don't shame them for it, because cancer in the reproductive system is the cause of many deaths, and you guys, you men, should go to the doctor to check for scrotum cancer. Okay, cancer in your balls, it happens, it exists, and it is real. At least have one check in your life, or if you don't want to go to the doctor, there are a lot of how to check for cancer tutorials in Google. So please, for your own health, please do this. Okay, anyway, so taxing is membebani. I guess you're right, yeah, taxing is membebani. And Wizzy says it's too long to explain the difference between decision and principle, and David offers, decision can be contradicted with principle. Something like, I never want to kill anyone, but situation have forced me to make a hard decision. I agree. That does make sense. There's something, it's not 100% correct, but I agree with that. I agree with that comment up to a certain degree, but I cannot pinpoint what's wrong with it. But it is 60%, 70% correct, yes. I agree with you. That sounds like a good answer. Okay, anyway, guys, so it has been 50 minutes of me talking about sexuality and all of this. Does anybody have any questions according to this topic? I don't think anybody does, but just in case. And if you do, please put any questions in the comments. Don't forget to join Discord, and don't forget that I have a Twitter and I have a Traktil. If you want to give me some tips, it's all in the description below. The link is not clickable, so please copy paste the link into your browser. Okay, so next week Monday, for my Indonesian free talk, I'm going to talk about toxic masculinity, and for my English free talk next week, I will talk about fetishes. Billy Rubin, hello new subscriber. Hello Billy Rubin, nice to meet you. Billy Rubin is the name of a red blood cell, isn't it? Isn't Billy Rubin the thing that, the enzyme that gives, no, that's hemoglobin that gives the red color. Anyway, Billy Rubin, you were part of my biology lesson, but I forgot what your choice are. But anyway, August Darkness, thank you for trying to come first 2 streams. And if you can't come, that's completely fine too. My live streams are always open and available for anyone to rewatch. And I just hope that my streams can actually give you guys input and insight. Oh, bilirubin's a yellow pigment in blood. Okay. Okay, yellow pigment. Yeah, Leo, sorry, I know I'm kind of stupid. The red pigment is hemoglobin and the yellow is bilirubin. Okay, got it. So anyway, bilirubin, hi, thank you for subscribing to me. I hope that my live streams are of use to you. I have other videos as well if you would like to check them out. And bilirubin, please, if you want to give your input or you want to participate in the polls of what kind of topics I should talk about, please join my Twitter or my Discord. It's where I usually talk with my viewers. Honestly, guys, you're not viewers anymore. At this point, you're my friends, honestly. The Asutomo are my friends. Okay, so, but Discord is where I talk with the Asutomo, I discuss with them, I play games sometimes, and on Twitter is where I hold the polls, like what kind of topics I want to talk about next. So yeah, anyway, I guess that's it. The topic's a bit heavy, but my Twitter DMs are always open. You guys can come talk to me anytime if you want to talk about your past sexual traumas and you might want to have like a solution for that, or if you want to ask me like, hey, I think I'm gay, am I really gay, or am I straight, you know, if you have any questions like that, just ask me. Or maybe if you're a parent or if you are a sibling of someone who is in the LGBT community and you want to ask me how to best deal with them or how to best approach them, how to be their friend, how to not make it awkward, I'm always open for a talk, guys. Okay, so I guess that's it for today's stream. I hope this gives you guys some new perspective and insight about sexuality. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys for coming all the time to my streams. I love you guys. Okay, so this is it for the stream. See you guys on Thursday. I'm going to play games with Anjim and Leo, and on Friday I will be having a collab stream with them. We're gonna talk about some cool stuff. Hehe. Okay, guys. Otsukare. Thank you, Faris. Thank you, Karatampan. Thank you, Ores. Thank you, Sumi. Thank you, Arya Daniel. Thank you, David, Wizzies, Leo, Bilirubin. Who else? Ryan. Who else showed up? Kefianto. Oh my god, so many of you showed up. Miyu, Ekusuru, everyone. Thank you so much, FBI Simpers, for coming. And I will see you guys in 2 more days, the day after tomorrow.